Welcome back to NBL Overtime. It gives me no greater pleasure to welcome in our new guest, Josh King, the new head coach of the South East Melbourne Phoenix. Welcome in. You've barely even been here and you even walked to studio. You're trying to see the city, or is that an environmental thing?
Both. No, I'm staying right down the road, so it's a nice day.
Nice.
Might as well get some steps in.
Get out there. I like it.
Yeah.
No, you've been here, a week and a half. You've had a chance to see the team. You're talking off air and you said you like what you see. Are there anything you think you need help with? Is there anything you think you don't like, or because over the years, we're being honest here, they've struggled with defense, and we know you're a defensive coach.
Yeah.
How do you fix that?
Yeah, I think just day by day. You're not going to fix it in 1 day or 2 days of practice, or 2 weeks for that matter. I think getting a little bit better each day. We'll get a first run at it on Friday against Tasmania, which will give us challenges, but hopefully after that game, we can get better in the next game. So just step by step, like anything else.
I spoke to a lot of people once you were announced, and they all said the same thing, that it's defensive beasts are the teams that you like to coach. But what makes a team a defensive beast from an individual rostered player standpoint?
Yeah, a little bit of that is what you recruit to. I mean, in the off season, you got to recruit guys that you think can play defense. Obviously, there's two sides of the ball. There's offense and defense. You got to recruit to this, but it's really just holding guys accountable, and there's a standard every day. If you want to, there's no, to me, really a lot of secret in defensive play. It's a lot of heart and hustle. Anybody can be a solid defender. Obviously, there's guys that play to their strengths, but it's just holding the guys accountable, both individually and as a team. Yeah.
You say, talking to you beforehand, you say you're from North Carolina, the great state of North Kakalaka.
Yeah.
What about your basketball career? You played. Now, I don't want to assume that you was a point guard or a guard, but what position did you play? What was your game like?
I wasn't. I don't want to say I was a shooter though. I was a small, undersized 2-guard.
Like myself.
Exactly. I don't know exactly.
Wait, the small or the shooter?
Shooter, giving
Both. I'm a small.
But Damon.
Oh, yeah. No, I played in high school, and then I played Division I basketball, which is a big deal in the States, but I was never a high-level player, but I could shoot the basketball a little bit.
Same. Yeah, very much can relate. I want to show a couple of clips now of you when you're coaching. Now, you say you're a defensive beast. I get the feeling why some of the guys are playing defense, because, man, you like to get up and about. There's a bit of yelling and a bit of screaming there. If I'm on the court, I'm probably going to box out and I'm going to hustle. Are we going to see a bit of this? We've had some great coaches over the year that have really come in and lit the sideline alight. Are we going to see a bit of that from you this year?
You know, I'm gonna be myself. So if this is who I am, then this is what we're gonna see on the sideline. I can't change who I am, so
don't change it.
Yeah.
We want to see you yelling and screaming, running into the stands and attacking someone.
I'm a fashion man. Are you gonna wear that on?
Yeah,
or are you gonna have this on? Tell us what you're wearing, bro.
I'm gonna wear this.
Go back to the suit. You're looking good.
Hey, listen. To be honest, if I could wear a polo in that game, I'd have been wearing a polo. Yeah. It's just kind of a dress code thing. Yeah.
Oh, man, the black on black was great.
I like that. I do want to ask, because obviously you're coming into a team that you didn't get to recruit. You're inheriting what's there. For next year, in an ideal world, if you get to control a preseason with a team and you're trying to build this identity, how do you do that? What do you do? What would you like to achieve in a preseason with a new team?
Well, are you asking like what kind of players I would like to recruit?
Well, in terms of if there's certain things you do in the preseason, like implementing, whether it's bonding and doing any of that, because there's 9 new faces on this Phoenix team. It is still relatively young right now in the NBL season.
Sure, yeah. I mean, that's something actually, you know, I'm an American coach, but I coached in Europe the last 7 years. I did, you know, when I took over at Ludwigsburg, we had 11 new faces. So it's something that in Europe, from year to year, you're usually getting 8, 9, 10, 11 new guys. So ideally, I want guys that can play on both sides of the ball, both offensively and defensively. Guys that are willing defenders, you know, but you also got to have guys that put the ball in the basket too. Like we can talk about defense, and I am a defensive guy, but at the end of the day, you get the win for getting more points than the other team.
Did you see today, you've already seen things from the NBL, you've been watching it, I know you've had run-ins with Jack McVeigh, Sam Wardenberg, but Ariel Hook-Porty, who you know very well, he had a dunk called off today in the Knicks, which I'm sure you would have seen that. But talk to us a little about those past experiences with NBL players.
Yeah, I mean, if you even if you look at, I was just watching when you guys had New Zealand up. Matt Mooney's played in the BBL. Parker Jackson Cartwright's played in the BBL. Even Freddie Gillespie was in the BBL as early as 2 years ago. A lot of players that are now here have played in the German league. It just so happens that every morning the NBL is on my YouTube in Europe, so I'm actually watching to recruit for March and April. And I really enjoy watching the league. That was part of my decision to come over here, was just the familiarity I had with the league. I like the league. I like the style. I like a lot of things about it.
So what you're trying to tell us is Parker Jackson Cartwright, Huck Porty are almost locks for Southeast Melbourne next year.
I mean, listen, I'm wishing the best for Ariel. He's a great kid. I've known him since he was 15. I know when he came to Melbourne United, he had the injury, but he matured. They did a great job with him. He matured a lot. Unfortunately, I could only coach him for 4 games last year. He had a minor injury when he came with us, so they kind of shut him down. But I like a lot of things the league does, especially with this Next Stars program as well.
And Coach, because you didn't get a chance to pick this team, what would you be happy with at the end of the year? We brought you back at the end of the year. What, if you don't win a championship, what else would make you happy?
I think just getting better step by step, day by day. There's a lot of season left. Every team has their struggles. We've had our struggles early in the season, and I think any team in any league around the world, you want to be playing your best basketball more towards the middle of the season, towards the end of the season, and I hope by the end of the year that's what we're doing.
Now, your assistant coach, Sam McKinnon, is an icon here in Australia, like an Olympian, NBL MVP, champion. What's been the relationship like, the transition between yourself and Sam?
Yeah, no, it's been pretty good. I met with Sam and Luke on Sunday after the game, just right up the road here. They've been really helpful for me. Both guys have got a lot of time spent in the NBL, and obviously Sam did a great job filling in here, and I'm going to lean on these guys a lot. They have got experience in the league, and yeah, so I'm looking forward to working with both guys. Yeah.
We're excited to see what you can do on the floor, but you've never been to Australia before, so how have you found Melbourne, and what are you excited about being here in another new country?
A lot of things. I don't know if I'm ever going to get used to this time zone. That's the one thing. Not the hour, not the sleeping pattern, but the time zone is wild. So even in Europe, it's I don't know, night, day. I don't know about this, but
We still have that here. We follow night, day. I believe.
I'm looking forward to it to be in summertime when it's winter time.
Right.
That's what I'm really looking forward to. The city's been awesome. I've got to walk around. The weather's been great, and I'm just looking forward to learning the league a lot better.
On topic of learning the league, of course, you spent a lot of time in Europe. The differences between the NBL game and the European game. We always hear about the difference between the NBA and Europe. We have a look at your European. There's a lot of Bundesliga right there, which is a very, very good league. So as more we see of the Bundesliga, the more it speaks to your credentials right there. But what are the similarities and maybe the differences between the Euro game and the NBL game that you've seen so far?
Well, I said this when I watched the league. I always say I feel like the NBL is a mix between Europe and the NBA. I'll say both the German league and the NBL are both fast-paced, so I think that's one big similarity. I would say probably in Germany a little bit more, and Europe a little bit more defensive-oriented. I would say probably the NBL is a little bit more offensive-oriented. So those would be the two biggest differences, I would say.
What are you most excited about? Like, what's the biggest thing for you, like exciting challenge over the next, let's say, 12 months?
Well, I'm excited about it. I'm a young head coach, and I've never taken over for a team in the middle of the year. So I'm embracing the challenge because there are challenges with this. I'm looking forward to that. And then I'm looking forward to, at the end of the year, kind of evaluating this whole situation and then building a roster for the next season. But it's step by step. And I'm just looking forward to actually practice tomorrow and getting ready for Tasmania on Friday.
Now, just what's your attitude like when it comes to excuses? Like, because there's a lot of travel going on. We got one team in the league that's not even in the country. We got another team that's way over there in the West. So
I've had that
are we
New
ever
Zealand trips.
Are we ever gonna have a Josh King say, hey, travel, we was riding, took us 12 hours to get. Where do you stand on that?
Damon, one thing, that's called like building the narrative, right? I'm bad at building the narrative. Yeah. I'm too candid with that. Over the years, people have said, hey, you got to come up with a story on why you lost. I'm like, we got our butts kicked today. There's no story. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of excuses for me. I kind of like just call it like I see it.
Love that.
Perfect. Well, mate, we can't wait to see you debut on Friday night. It's going to be huge. The fans are going to be happy. And you know what happens over here? Usually when a team has a new head coach, they play awfully hard in those first couple of games. So we're looking forward to seeing how they go, and we're wishing you all the best of luck for the coming year.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. Cutting to a break now. Plenty coming up next.